Salutations! I'm Salutations, and today we've got a new challenge build for you guys. Now, today we're covering the Mongol. I forgot to showcase the skill tree in my run, so here is the skill tree. I'm going to cover a couple things here, and the reason why I'm putting a large emphasis on this immediately is because I don't play Axton very often. As you could tell, my primary two characters right now to play are Gage and Zero. So I want your guys' feedback on the skill tree that I used and see what kind of optimizations I could make in the future for utilizing stuff like launchers or whatnot. So we went reload speed. I didn't want any like turret duration stuff. I didn't even use turrets very often this run. I don't even know if I used them at all in this video. I don't remember, but we do utilize turrets for distraction and slagging for the most part. That's like the intent of using them here, but they're not really a big thing. The main thing is focusing on the Mongol. So I wanted to go down here to get double up, getting the double turret, or the second gun for the slag rounds, and then double turret Gemini over here. But we want double up for the slag, and then we have reload, we have recharge rate and delay, because that just makes more sense than turret stuff here. We got onslaught for our movement speed mostly. That was the main thing I liked it for. I liked the movement speed, but the gun damage is nice too. We have the Grenadier for more grenade capacity. We have Crisis Management for more damage in case our shields go down. Although, for the most part, if our shields are going down, we are healing and then getting our shields back up really quickly, so shields for the most part are not depleted. Then over here we have Impact for damage. We have Expertise for swap speed. That's the big thing here, is the swap speed. Then Steady for that rocket launcher damage. We're not grabbing Metal Storm because I didn't really see a need to have a lot of fire rate with this, especially with the launcher here. Yeah, didn't really see a need for fire rate. Mag size could have been okay if we were running an assault rifle. So longbow, amazing. Battlefront, more gun damage, and then this gives more rocket launcher damage, do or die. And then Ranger, just because I had a spare point and I didn't feel like putting 5 in grit. Yeah, I put 1 point here. Cry about it. I definitely could have had more grit, and that could have been helpful. Another 4%, but yeah. We went shield capacity, didn't health stack at all, mostly because we were life stealing to keep our health above health gate. We could have went last ditch effort if we were in Fight for Your Life for a lot of time, but I didn't really see a purpose in this because with launchers, we're not going to be in Fight for Your Life very long. Or the whole point of a launcher, realistically, in this game is for second wins. So getting second wins is really freaking easy. So we don't need this extra damage or movement speed. So I went reload speed and recharge delay again. Then Phalanx Shield for our turrets. This helps us against those super BA loaders, prevents at least a couple of those rockets from hitting us, preventing the salvo from bringing you down the health gate. We have Kick Charge, which is giving us shield regen, which is alright. Maglock, Sticky, it's nice for walls and ceilings. Cooldown rate, Grit for ignoring death, and Gemini. But yeah, that's the skill tree. We did this without bar, but I didn't show it in the run, so feel free to not believe that. It doesn't matter, you can tell by looking at the health value. But let's get right into the gameplay. So with this run, we did have a lot of fun with this bottom boom. I had a lot of fun. I love it. Although I probably should have grabbed a slag launcher. I was thinking like a slag Topnia. Not because the slow hand is bad at it or anything, although my luck with the slow hand was absolute garbage during this run, and during all of my testing runs, but I feel like having a slag Topnia with a mostly launcher build already just seems like fun. It deals a lot of damage, so I could understand not using it for these challenge builds, and if you guys think that that's a no, then tell me. But I definitely think it could be a lot of fun to have it set up that way. That just having a slag launcher, you shoot once with the Topnia, and then everything in the room is slagged, and then you start shooting with your Mongol and nuke things. It sounds like so much fun. But honestly, after hearing people dog on the Mongol, I was kind of just like, why? I freaking love this launcher in Borderlands 3, so I was like, well, I'm gonna try it in Borderlands 2. And the first thing that I was playing around with it, Loot Lemon says it comes in every element, so I pulled up with the slag Mongol in my OP 47-0 run just to see what would happen, and I found that the that the extra rockets are all explosive, so I was kind of just like, well, the slag bit doesn't freaking matter if the extra rockets are all explosive, which makes sense. I wasn't expecting them to be slag. It was wishful thinking, but I still have had a lot of fun with this launcher. This launcher does quite a bit, especially if you angle it right. It's very much a line yourself up properly and it does a lot kind of weapon. The further away you are from an enemy, while still being able to keep those side rockets tight-knit, is going to get you the best outcome. And how do you pull that off? Well, you stay in one of those tight corridors, because I've noticed that the launcher doesn't shoot the projectiles directly at walls a lot of the time. When you're in a condensed area, at least from my experience, I get better mileage out of the side rockets. They travel more straight for some reason. I don't know what's causing that, but that's just been my experience with it. I have zero evidence to back that up. But I've had a lot of fun with it. The sham with the bada boom for rocket jumping was mostly there for rocket jumping, and I realized, well, this is duplicating rocket ammo, so why not? Also, there's a whole bunch of times in this gameplay where I just stop moving, and that's because I was replying or commenting, chatting in Slimothy James's live stream that he was hosting the other day. So go check him out. Shout out to Slimothy James if you don't already know who that is. Man does some really fun challenge runs, and it's fun to watch. He tends to live stream a bunch of them, so if you want to catch him live, he's live on Twitch a lot of the time when he's running it. I enjoy both the Twitch and the actual videos of it, although I find more to talk about while I'm in his live stream. But he's trying to get affiliate on Twitch, so go show him some support. He makes good content, in my opinion. Now, if that is compared to what is traditionally good content, I don't know about that, but in my opinion, it's good content. As such, it is good content. But back to the build here. So I was running Grenadier because the +6 and steady for that rocket launcher damage, but I don't exactly know if that's best. I haven't sat down and crunched numbers on this, so somebody like Alpha, who actually knows Axton, could correct me in a lot of cases with this build, and that would be awesome. I ran the blue magic missile instead of the purple one because I felt like it. I could have just grabbed a purple one because all of the other stuff on here is save edited anyways, but I grabbed the blue one just because I felt like it. And honestly, I had a lot of trouble slagging things, not with just the grenade. The grenade was doing alright, but with the slow hand. It says 72% slag chance. I highly doubt it, especially since it's 3 projectiles. Do all 3 of those projectiles have a chance to slag? And if so, what the heck? There were several times where I shot 3 shots from my slow hand, and none of them slagged, and I was kind of just like, what? I know all of those projectiles landed each time, because this is, again, in a tight corridor, but what the heck? What is happening? But the main issue with the Mongol is, for the damage that you want, if you miss the lineups, it is very much a ammo-hungry launcher. But I feel like that's fine. Sure, there are better options, but it's still a really fun launcher to play with. But that applies with most guns in this game, really. Why use the Devastator if the Unkempt Herald exists? Why use the Pocket Rocket if the Unkempt Herald exists? Why use the Thunderball Fist if the Unkempt Herald exists? I mean, it is not really much to go off of there, huh? The Unkempt Herald is really early in the game, it lasts throughout the entire playthrough every time you go get a new one, and it's really freaking strong when it's on level, too. So it's like, what's the point? Well, to just have fun playing with the other weapons. I feel like that's one of the main things that people tend to forget about with Borderlands 2 when I'm talking to people, is this game isn't just about, hey, let's clear the content as fast as possible, but it's also just a variety of weapons to play with. A lot of the weapons that people just consider bad, they consider bad because they don't compare well to other weapons, not because they are viable for content. So, one of the things that I urge people to do a lot of the time is just try out weapons. Don't go in there with the expectation that it's going to perform better than an Unkempt Herald. A lot of things are not going to. But if you go in there with just trying out the uniqueness of the weapon and seeing if you like the playstyle, I feel like there's a really good way of going about it. And that's how new things are discovered. Because there are a lot of people who call me a mad scientist, and I'm just like, I mean, as much as I love the title, I'm not really doing too many crazy things. I'm taking weapons that people say are bad, and I'm trying to make them good. I've heard somebody say it's bad, I'm gonna make it good. I'm at least gonna try. Even if it doesn't succeed, then that's fine too. It's just trying it out and tampering with it until I get the most ideal scenario that I wanted. And nothing else really to it. And that applies with all sorts of things. If you are playing the game and trying to just learn how to play the game, one of the best ways to do it is to run it and break down what's going on for yourself. Do your own research. For example, when you are running when you're running Washburn, one of the things that I noticed is, hey, there are always EXP loaders in the circle area right before the Super BA. There are always exploders for the second and third rotation of loader bots, but the first and fourth / last waves are not limited to exploder bots. The first one always spawns with 2 of the freaking arm spinny loaders, the windmills. I don't know what to call them. They're PWR loaders. Somebody give me a good name in the comments. That'd be great. But those stupid arm ones, the one that's just waddling up while I'm commenting right now. There's plenty of ways of dealing with or learning the game. Learning the spawns is one of the best, is that allows you to preemptively make decisions and proactively make decisions on what's going on instead of having to react to the environment that you're in. However, how do you learn how to react how do you learn to be proactive in an area that you don't know? So, first, breaking down the game mechanics in a way that you understand it. Because somebody spouting numbers at you or spouting mechanics at you in the way that they know it doesn't always mean that you're going to be able to learn it that way. So, one of the best ways to go about it is to just run it and figure it out yourself. Taking guide points or baselines from other people is really nice too, but just trying to dissect it in a way that you understand. One of my friends has been struggling, or was struggling, with a fight in Terraria for a bit. He was struggling with Moonlords on a specific seed, or it wasn't a seed, it was a skyblock, I think? He was trying to do a skyblock run, and he was struggling with Moonlord. Usually, he is able to have like an out DPSing or out regenning build for dealing with Moonlord, and the builds can carry him through it. And in this case, because he was running a skyblock, he didn't have that to carry him. So he had to learn the hard way as to dodging the boss. And it took him a bit, it took him a couple days to figure out what the heck he was doing. But the main thing that was holding him back was he wasn't learning, he was just running it and was like, okay, that didn't work, I'm ticked, and we're gonna do it again. That didn't work, I'm ticked, and we're gonna do it again. And that did help him eventually, but it didn't help him until he went in there with the mindset of, I'm going to learn what the boss is. So, mindset when it comes to that can very much determine whether or not the method that you are wanting to go for is going to work. If you're going in there with the mindset of, we just want to get this done, then it might not get done if you don't know what the things are to get it done. If you go in there with the mindset of, well, I need to learn how things work, so we're gonna figure it out as we go. Then you might figure things out as you go, as long as you are active, as long as you're being proactive with your mindset. And in a lot of things, there's also negative mindsets, and negative mindsets are not good. Negative mindsets tend to be really bad when it comes to pushing forward something. Also, that loader here took way more attempts to slag than it should have. But besides the point. We need a positive mindset to be able to actually grow and develop. Having negative mindsets in a lot of cases is going to hold you back. For example, if your mindset is, this freaking sucks, I don't want to do this anymore, but I'm still gonna do it because I have to get through this challenge, you're not gonna get through the challenge very well. You may eventually, just because you've done it so many times, you've rolled the probability that you do it. Or you've ran it so many times that your subconscious was finally just like, skip this, I'm learning, and then just learned. But that's not something that is going to be helpful in the long run. So, taking another look at it, how can you improve that? You have a positive mindset, and you look for ways to improve, instead of automatically assuming the worst. And I definitely feel like that's something that's wrong in today's society as well, is a lot of people assume that somebody's doing something for the worst. Even if there is some evidence to support your claim, I don't think that is the best way to go. And the way that I tend to look at things when it comes to conflicts or drama or whatnot is take a look at what was actually said, isolate that to that instance. I don't care what the person has said prior. I don't care if they were, quote, literally Hitler, unquote. Listen to what they have to say. And if you agree or disagree with them after you listen to what they have to say, then go and do research. And well, research into them. Do research before you start, before you start agreeing or disagreeing or making comments on a topic or drama. But when it comes to an individual and the way that they speak, make sure to look into the person afterwards. This way you're not going in there with a negative bias. You can look into them afterwards and figure out, hey, well, they probably only said this because of these reasons. And after that, you can go ahead and follow through with that if you want. But if you still agreed with the premise originally, then don't automatically spite their opinion because you disagree with the reason why they came to that conclusion. But that's all I've got for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed me ranting about mindset and choice. But we've got another video to record here by the end of the day. I'm planning on getting 2 uploads done today, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully we get it done. We'll see. So, I hope y'all enjoyed. See y'all in the next one. StereoLotus77, signing off.